action. All right, so we're talking about revisiting the game using the facility hub. So if you don't know what the facility hub is, you get one of these gems. So this takes you to the facility hub. So the facility hub is like, I might actually overdub audio on this too and just not use this audio. So maybe I shouldn't talk, but I'm just going to pretend I'm going to do it in one take. So the facility hub has like tons of quests to take you from level 1 to 50 like relatively quickly. So you go down here and there's like one side takes you to all the Tusk quests that are on timers like 24 hours, whatever it is, like 24 to 27 hours. And then this other side has all these that take you to the Ulthoi pincers. So if you're serious about like you grinding and you do both these sides every day on turn-in, like you can hit level 50 really fast. And there's some other stuff in here too. So yeah, if you've never used the facility hub, like this is a huge boost for a low level player, or if you're trying to power level yourself from 1 to 50 or whatever. If you've never used it, it's fun just to go get all the XP and stuff. All right. Talking about number 2 on the list, explore unknown or new areas. So like for example, like of this whole game world, like I've spent so many hours in this game and I have not touched foot on every square section of it. You know what I'm saying? Like square measurement, whatever you're using. Like, yeah, I've been on a lot of like the main POIs multiple times and things like this throughout, but like actually running through every area, and like something that I used to enjoy doing was just like go to Direlands and just run and just see what I would fight and what kind of loot I would get and stuff like that. So even as someone whose favorite thing was to just run around and explore, I still haven't touched foot on everything. You know what I'm saying? So if it's your thing, I mean, like you could literally just go to any uncharted territory. You know what I'm saying? All right, another thing on number 3 is revisit favorite locations in the game or favorite dungeons. So, like, one of my favorite places when I was a noob was Halls of Midos. So I'm just gonna run there because I had this AB Lifestone tie. It's really close. Yeah, so this place brings back a lot of memories. Me and my older brother used to spend a lot of time here on the vanilla like retail game when we were low level characters when the game first came out. We were like level, I don't know, probably 20, 30, 40 or something. We spent a lot of time in this place. I have so many memories like because of the acid pits. If you don't run if you fuck up the acid pits, it's so funny, dude. Like, yeah, there's all these revenants in the beginning, and then there's these acid pits. So, like, if you don't jump right, you can die in that acid so fast. Let me see if I can show that. Or wall. Yeah, so you can go in there. Yeah, it's copper golems. What level are these things? 40? Yeah, so we were like here like level 20 to 40 probably. Or 20 to 50. Like in the original game. Morning Thaw. Ooh, an emote. See, because the reason why we liked it here is because the moats too. Like the loot isn't terrible, and the moats, dude, you could like this was back when Atlan weapons were like actually good, like meta, like everybody wanted one. So we were just saving up for our own Atlan weapons, like, and we were just farming this place. And I have so many good memories of just like every time a moat would drop, it would be like the biggest thing, like so fun. Yeah, another one what I have is do a quest you've never done. So if you've never done this like Mitos quest, you could do this. You're supposed, I forget how it goes, but you talk to someone, and then you get like the fake moat and then the real moat thing at the end. Is this it? No, this is something else. Yeah, I mean, for example, with the as far as quests go, like Dude, there's so many quests in this game that I haven't done, like hundreds upon thousands probably, and I've done a lot of them. So if you played before, there's surely tons of quests you could look up that you've never seen before or done before. But yeah, this is a little extra B-roll from Mitos, I guess. For old time's sake. Let me just smush these fucking dudes. Create a new character could be one of the things to do. There's so many different races or different things you can be in this now, so it's like, why not try something new? Like, for example, when I first played, it was just these three. So if you've never played one of these other ones, I mean, shit, there's something you could do right there that's brand new in itself. And you could try a new class that you've never tried before, like a new build, you know what I mean? You can just pick whatever, do whatever you want. Do like custom, pick all your skills, whatever you want. Right, you get your appearance, whatever you want. You know what I mean? Find the new you. That's the character creation. Another thing you can do is like tinker your own gear set. Add this at the right height. There. Alright, so here's what I did. Basically one of each thing, a bow guy, and then I spread out the tinkering between them. So part of like my reasoning for like and motivation for having them sworn in allegiance to each other and macroing with each other was that they each one that has a tinkering, each character had a different tinkering, so that would be going higher too, so I could tinker my own gear. That was my goal, and that's what I did. So I did the best that I could, like making a gear set, custom gear set for each character, and like tinkering it by like, see, like this is by my other character 9 times out of 10, like stuff like that. Like that was what motivated me, was to just make a full custom gear set and like tinker it up myself. So I mean, if that's something that appeals to you and you never did that before, I had a lot of fun doing it. Like, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun, and it's something for your macroing characters to do. If you're macroing, like, something for them to work towards instead of just like accumulating a bunch of like trade notes for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, making your own stuff, for me at least, is very gratifying. It's like, I knowing that all of my gear from all my characters is all tinkered by myself, like, for the most part, is feels pretty satisfying. Like when I was still like macroing all the time, like I kind of stepped away. I haven't played as much, but I'm kind of getting my hands back on things, like making these videos and shit, like, so I'm definitely getting back in there and seeing like where I kind of left off and all of that. So the tinkering and tailoring can be fun. I barely mess with the tailoring. Tailoring is like, you can put any type of armor and any type of anything on anything to change the visual appearance and the look of it. I went full old school with it, and I tried to find things that were either a similar color, or like I could dye similar colors. Like, that's kind of how I went. So I went more old school with it, like kind of pre-dyeing style, but I used dyes if I had to, like, so that's kind of what I did. Um, I had fun with that. Try to get a friend to join you. If you got like maybe a friend that never played before, and you could get them to install it. It's like, dude, it's free. So there's no reason why you couldn't at least try to get a friend to try it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially because it's free. It's like, I don't know, something that is like a barrier of entry for a lot of people is the cost. So the fact that like if you have a friend that likes MMOs and they're like willing to at least put the time in to try it, it's like definitely a good avenue. It's just hard to get, to find the right people that are into like that kind of true like first gen MMORPG experience. But now we're like trying to get more people, so you're not really getting the experience. You're getting a shell of what it was, but how are we ever going to get the more of the real thing if we don't try to invite people? You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's really important, even though people like kind of downplay it, like that. Or if you have a friend who did play before and you could get them to revisit the game, it's like, bro, you can revisit it for free. You know what I mean? Befriend whoever is online. I don't know if there's an actual command on this server for population. Let me see. Pop online. So this one is just befriend whoever's online. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, for example, like these 4 accounts, like that's probably one person or two or whatever. And if you really wanted to put in the effort, you could, be like, hey, what's up? Like interact with people. Like, it's not like it's totally like out of the question, even on servers where people just macro. Like, you can still like make an effort to try to like talk to or befriend whoever's online. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's possible. Like, even if it's not your thing, it's still something you can try doing. And then also another thing would be to join like an active allegiance. You know what I mean? Because then you can see like allegiance chat. You can see what people are doing if they ever type in allegiance chat, and you could probably make friends with people that way. That's even easier if you want to, if you're up to joining an allegiance and you want to have communication with people and you don't want to just sit alone on the game, then that's definitely something you can do. You know what I mean? It's the options there for you whether you want it or not. And then the last thing is just macroing. You know what I mean? Like, you can macro all as much or as little as you want. If the server allows it, like this server, you can macro 8 accounts at a time if you want. And then there's other servers where you can't combat macro at all, and you're limited to 2 accounts that you can multi-box and stuff like that. There's servers with rules for everybody. You know what I mean? It's just that it's the subdivision that hurts the game. You know what I mean? Or hurts the player base of the emulators, at least. Yeah, so the last thing would be to macro. If that's your thing, if you're into macroing, like, you can macro to your heart's content on some of the emulator servers. They allow like, as many accounts as you want, or 8 accounts, and that's what I was doing with these guys. And just working up the levels and the tinkering to make my own gear and all that. So if that's what you want to do, there's plenty of opportunity for that too. And then also, if you want, there's servers that don't allow macroing. So there's something for everybody. I think the subdivision is hurting like the player counts, but maybe, talking about it more, getting more people into it, then maybe the player counts won't feel so bad. You know what I'm saying? Even though there's subdivision, everybody gets what they want, and there's at least still people to play with. That's kind of like what I envision. It's just we got to get more people that to even be aware about the game, to know that they can emulate for free, etc., just to get old friends back on the game, whatever it is to help the player counts. I think that's the most important and healthy thing that could happen for this game right now, and its emulator community. I'm sure that's like a big obvious thing for a lot of people, but for some people it may not be that obvious. You know what I mean? And that's why we make videos and talk about things and discuss. And or else, what is a community if it doesn't, then it doesn't exist, right? So here we are. Let's keep the discussion going so we can keep this game alive. Yeah, that's what I think.